Sleeping Beauty Wakes is the story of Sleeping Beauty set in a sleep disorder clinic.
It is an enchanting modern-day story about the classic fairy tale, Sleeping Beauty. What would happen if it went horribly, horribly wrong?
From the very beginning, it was a story of a sleeping beauty who oversleeps and who wakes up in the modern world and then has to deal with that.
It's like the kind of a receptacle of modern neuroses. What could be a better one than a sleep clinic? And in walks these kind of mythic fairy tale characters.
This strangely ageless man carrying in his arms what appears to be a 16-year-old girl in a coma. The presence of this girl has sent everybody off on this strange dream journey, and when they wake up, they've been living the story of Sleeping Beauty in their dreams, and they've all gotten the best sleep they've gotten in ages.
The still small hours of the morning, Oh, we'll plot, and we'll plan, and we'll scheme, yeah, we'll scheme.
Of course, I'm just tremendously interested in sleep because I'm very sleepy.
Certainly, I am having issues with my sleep during this rehearsal process.
And we're finding, as we work on this, that that's everyone's problem. It just out of the woodwork, every single person in the room. Oh, I didn't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep.
I think we're all working so hard on this piece and we're so emotionally invested in it. There becomes this weird blur between our characters and ourselves.
I'm an insomniac, so it speaks to me on a very, very personal level. And then theatrically, there's wild dreams humbling into a dreamscape, which is a director's fantasy to get to stage.
He's coming closer. I hope I can land the plane. I'm running as hard as I can, but my legs aren't moving. So I'm sitting here in my teeth.
Working with Val, the lyricist, Brendan, the composer, Rachel, the book writer, and Doug Verone, the choreographer, has been an incredibly intimate process of developing the piece.
It's a very collaborative environment, and so everything has become more three-dimensional.
Mini Mall here and motorcycle over there. Do you want them switched?
No, that's probably good. Put Mini Mall Mini Mall there, and then.
Rebecca Taichman is a force of nature. She is the type of director who forces you to explain and question and think deeply about every choice that you make. And we have gone through so many different versions of Sleeping Beauty Wakes to get to the really awesome one that we have today.
There have been more tears from this group. We have boxes of Kleenex scattered all over, and I think that's when the writers tend to kind of jump and clap in the background because they know we've hit on something.
I think most collaborations are like marriages, so it kind of feels like Brendan and I and Rachel are all married in an odd way.
They're working from this place of profound, profound intimacy, and you can feel that.
Because becoming a parent happened to me and Brendan basically almost at the same time that we started to work on the show, it has been a strangely parallel experience.
Our lives continued to parallel those of Sleeping Beauty and her dad.
And of course, a huge part of that is the curse. She's cursed by the bad fairy to prick her finger on a spindle. And as we were starting to write about this, we found that our son has a very deadly peanut allergy.
And you eat a peanut or, even possibly breathe in some peanut oil in the air from somebody who has the wrong kind of potato chip, there's the possibility that your throat will close up and you will die.
And suddenly to us, that became kind of like the curse, kind of like the spindle.
There are spindles everywhere in this world. There are always dangers that parents have to try to protect their children from, and yet if you overdo the protection, your child is going to rebel against you and go seek out exactly the thing that you don't want them to seek out. And that is our story, and that is what we struggle with as parents.
My favorite moment, it's Sleeping Beauty's father is giving her permission to proceed in her life without him, to grow up and to find love and happiness. And it gets me every time.
The dark will fade into the dawn, and you'll grow up, and you'll go on and on.
Sleeping Beauty Wakes probes the question of what happens to a group of people when they actually wake up to all of the strengths and all of the weaknesses of their individual characters.
I mean, I think the story that's really at the heart of this show is something that resonates with everybody. It's about trusting yourself to live completely awake in the moment without fear.
Metal birds fly by higher than